So he was all like, wah, 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 wah. He is such a dick. So then I was like, excuse me, Mr. Von Pfefferkorn, but just because I can't define metaphor doesn't mean I don't know what one is, you stupid buttwad.
You called Mr. Von Pfefferkorn a buttwad?
No, of course not. I added that to the story for dramatic effect.
Oh.
I begged and pleaded to God not to put me in his class. I wanted to be in Mr. Griffin's lit class. He gives A's to anyone with tits. But no, I get the fag.
You really think Mr. Von Pfefferkorn is a fag?
Well, if he were straight, I obviously wouldn't be failing his class.
Totally.
The thing is, I secretly think God is punishing me for sleeping with Fatty Fat Frida's boyfriend.
You slept with Craig Kowalski?
I blew him. You knew that. I totally told you right after it happened.
You did not.
I so did.
Ew.
I was drunk, okay? Speaking of, is anybody looking?
No, sir.
Sweetie, you gotta stop calling me that. I think I did it subconsciously just because I fucking hate Frida fat ass.
Oh my god, I know, right?
I mean, seriously, whenever one of us has a real problem, she has to butt her fat ass in and start crying about how she can't stop puking up her food.
I know, it's so pathetic.
I swear to God, if I have to hear her bitch one more time about how Craig won't sleep with her until she loses weight, I'm gonna stick my foot up her ass. That is, if I can find the entrance. If she's bulimic, will someone please tell me why she is such a heifer? I mean, come on, Frida.
The other day, she was telling me that she was on a diet, and I was thinking, what, you can't eat anything larger than your head? Survey says,
you're fat.
Take your finger out of your throat and drag your ass to Lane Bryant.
And speaking of her fashion sense, why is she always wearing that shirt that says WWJD? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Who wants jelly donuts?
I think it means, what would Jesus do?
Well, he certainly wouldn't wear that ugly-ass shirt with those nasty-ass spandex shorts. Spandex? Who wears spandex?
Someone needs to explain camel toe to her.
Her body is so gross. I'm not just the president of the itty-bitty titty committee, I'm also a client. Blech. What would Jesus do?
He wouldn't let Daryl Farmer finger him under the bleachers during a pep rally. That's for damn sure.
Totally. Now what should we drink to?
How about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness?
Marcy, I hate to tell you this, but sometimes you're really bland.
Screw you, I am not.
Hello? There are 1,000 things in this world to toast to, and you picked the lamest one ever.
Okay, here's to tater tots.
Well, that's slightly more interesting. The Spork is a great invention. Simple, but effective. It's like, who came up with this?
The spork was invented in the 1940s. After the war, when the U.S. Army occupied Japan, General MacArthur decreed that the use of chopsticks was uncivilized, and the conquered should use forks and spoons like, quote, the civilized world. But fearing that the Japanese might rise up, revolt, and retake their country with their forks, he and the U.S. Army invented the much less dangerous spork, which was then introduced into the public schools. But really, all a spork is a plastic descendant of the Runcible spoon.
Okay. How do you know all that?
Can you keep a secret?
Can Frida eat a moon pie in only 2 bites?
No, seriously. I am the smartest person in the world.
And she's the skinniest.
No, it's true. I was part of this government experiment in the elementary school. It was a drug that made kids like super geniuses, able to retain everything they learned. But the drug had a side effect.
Bacne.
Shut up, bitch. You know I'm sensitive about that.
I am not sorry, girlfriend. Why don't you just go to the damn dermatologist?
Can I please just finish my story? So this miracle super genius drug fucks with kids' hormones and turns them into like super horny children. Like 3rd graders running around everywhere, humping like everything.
That is so Weird. You were really smart when we were kids. And really horny.
Got you! You're so fucking gullible.
You're a snatch!
You'll believe anything.
How did you know all that stuff about the spork?
Duh. I looked it up on the internet. Every time we do get drunk at school, you pick up a spork and say, "The spork is such a great invention. I wonder where it came from." So I decided one day I was going to have an answer.
How brilliant of you. I'm depressed.